1999, I became the president of ATHA, and I had been a chair of the theater department at the University of the Incarnate Word in San Antonio for 10 years, and then had just become the dean of the College of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences there. ATHA, and actually ATA and ATHA, were incredibly important to my career development and my professional development. And it was through ATHA that I served on a number of task forces as an assistant professor early in my career, dealing with promotion and tenure, dealing with outcomes assessment, workload, which we did with USITT, NAST, and ATHA and KCACTF. And in doing those task forces that created those white papers for ATHA, I began to see the bigger picture of what it meant to be in higher education. The Leadership Institute is important as an initiative for ATHA because it is critical that we continue to develop leaders for higher education and for theater and for ATHA. ATHA serves our members at various stages of their career, and graduate students in MFA and PhD programs around the country in theater it is necessary for them to understand the value of working within their disciplinary organization. When I was a PhD student, I of course was much further along in my career, and at the ATHA conference in San Antonio, I invited about 8 graduate students from the PhD program that I was in, and they couldn't afford to stay in the hotel, so they stayed in my house, because I lived in San Antonio, and I stayed in the hotel, and my mother served them breakfast every morning before they went to their ATHA meetings. So I think that helping graduate students be successful and understand the career of being a faculty member and hopefully someday an administrator within the theater world is an important aspect. Though while I think that that is an important piece of what I did when I was president, even more so than that, I think that the expansion of our focus groups to include the Latino focus group, when I was a vice president for conference and first theater forum chair, I can remember Mark Weinberg and Doug Patterson sitting with me discussing task as a possible focus group, and we moved through the process of bringing task, which has been an incredibly important community-based theater type of activity that hadn't been present at ATHA, and so having them as a focus group is important. Expanding the diversity of our membership and the diversity of leadership is important. And the Leadership Institute, I'm happy, has expanded our mentoring of potential faculty and administrators of color to bring diversity to the world of theater. It is important. We can't avoid the changing demographics that are happening for higher education in general, and theater has to not just be reactive but proactive in that matter. And so I see actually the diversity piece as the most important thing that I did as president. And we did plenaries on diversity, so there were a number of things that we did during those 2 years that centered around that area.